When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Malice. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Tuesday morning. Today is the Focus on Business, and you won't believe what business we're talking about. We're talking about a locksmith business. That's right. We're not going to tell you which one, but it is high tech, my friends. If you want an alarm system, they've got it. If you want a simple lock and key, they have got it. If you want the phone number here, we've got that. 436-MeTV, option 11. Do turn down the sound when you call in. We're back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
You know, in this day and age that we live in, everybody is security conscious, whether it's their car, their home, whatever the case may be. Everybody wants to go high tech too. If you notice these people now, they are able to alarm their house, their car, or whatever on a cell phone, just by using a cell phone. You know, a lot of people, they have the alarms in their apartments, their homes. It seems like everybody has an alarm in their car now. But I want to talk about an alarm company and a security company right here in the city of Fresno that has been a part of the Central Valley for the better part of 28 years. It really spans the better part of 4 decades. Let's go to the videotape and I'll show you exactly what I am talking about. There's the outside of the building right there. It's one of the most well-known places in the entire Central Valley to purchase a home or a business security. Talking about Havens, and the story about how it all began with the owner is amazing. He's a homegrown guy. Yes, most know about Havens, the locks, the keys, the deadbolts, the high-tech security, the cameras, the safes, and all the rest. But the real story behind the story is about the owner. Fresno born, Fresno raised, he began his career, believe it or not, in the world of broadcasting. We'll tell you more about that later. Now back to Havens. He started working at a key booth in Fresno at Chestnut and Kings Canyon. Later, the owner offered to sell him the business. He bought it. From 5 employees and 3 moves later and several years later, he now owns this beautiful 6,400 square foot building at Blackstone and Belmont, the home of Havens. Live in our studio now is Haven Young, the owner of Havens Lock and Safe. Boy, he has been around here a long time. He knows his business. He also knows the business of broadcasting. Maybe we'll ask him about some of the things we talked about yesterday with Dennis Hart. Who knows? Anyway, 436-MeTV option 11. Very interesting story with Haven Young. Remember, if you call in, turn down the sound. Maybe if you have a security system on your car, your home, whatever the case may be, your business, perhaps this man right here installed it. 436-MeTV option 11. Turn down the sound. Back in a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Very few people I know do not have a home security system, but in this day and age, everything is high tech. Everybody's alarming their homes now. If they leave the house, they can do it with their cell phone. They get a call immediately from their security company if somebody breaks in. And our guest today to talk about all this home security stuff, it's amazing. You know, it goes above my head. Anyway, is Haven Young. How are you, Haven?
Doing fine, John.
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here.
My pleasure.
So, am I correct in saying that a lot of people in this day and age, especially now, 2014, they're security conscious.
They have to be.
Because?
There's a revolving door at the Big Gray Bar Hotel downtown.
So are you seeing more in this day and age than you did back in the 70s and the 80s and maybe even 90s?
Oh, everybody's just so more security conscious.
Are they
now.
paranoid? Is that the problem?
Rightly so.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's not, when I grew up, we left the front door unlocked, you know.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah. You've got a huge business, and I want to talk about how you started, because you started in broadcasting. Tell us that story, if you can, real quick.
With Al Radka, back in '63.
Okay.
He was doing a radio broadcast from Christensen's Market at Cedar and Shields.
Gotcha.
And I would go by going to Sierra Junior High, and I'd stop by and say hi to him. Got to know him a little bit, and during that time he had Jack and Jill Pot bowling at Cedar Lanes.
Okay.
So he asked me to put the equipment together for him, and I stayed on there until he let Jack and Jill Pot bowling go away, and he invited me down to the record hop, and I took our buddy Gary Cocola's slot as a teenage co-host.
So you were the guest host on Record Hop, filling in for Al Radka.
Not filling in. Radka did his thing, and I was just a guest host.
Oh, you were a guest host, so you were a regular on there.
Yes, every Saturday.
Every Saturday. Mm-hmm. And that was after Gary Cocola had gone. Had left.
Yeah, he's been out of high school and moved on.
All right. And then from there, you were a youngster at that time. Mm-hmm. That was only a couple of years ago. From there, you went to Channel 47, believe it or not. And you worked with a guy named Colin Doherty.
Yes, Colin
Doherty. You were
Doherty.
there for what, about a year?
Yeah, with Gary Bentley, Dick Carr,
mm-hmm.
Robert Churcha. We did 16 millimeter sound back then.
CP16 cameras?
Aircon Solox, Bellenhouse 70 DRs.
Okay.
I
remember
rugged
those.
metal and the
yeah,
short
Bellenhouse.
lenses.
Yeah, remember that. So you were a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What got you out of the news business? I know what you told me yesterday on the phone.
It was part-time and freelance. I couldn't get on full-time, so I had to make money and had to go somewhere else.
You mean Colin Doherty wouldn't help you get on full-time?
He didn't have anywhere to be then. He was
pull then.
No,
right?
He was a reporter. He's big time now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had no influence at that time, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, you apparently made, obviously, the right move. But you told me yesterday
mm-hmm.
that you were glad that you did not stay in broadcasting because you saw a problem. And what was it?
A lot of them, well, if you get too popular, you lose your identity because the public owns you then.
You really think that's true?
Yeah, I've
with
seen
everybody?
With
with everybody?
No, I said with some.
Okay.
With some. And then, because I've seen some of the guys that were working at KMAK and Kino go national and then lose their, they were talk show type thing and create a little agitation there that got them a little.
So you think they got a little too big for their pants, huh?
No, I don't say that, but there's a lot of them that think they're bigger than what they're doing inside.
Right, and so that's why you got out of the business, is because you didn't want to lose your identity?
Well, but I still like the identity. I mean, I remember as a kid going down into L.A. and the folks driving, and I'd say, if I lived here about a minute away, about a mile down the road, they wouldn't know who I am, where I'm from, or anything else. Is I got any money, and what can I do for them?
Yeah.
You know, you lose your identity. And Fresno's a small pond. It's a big pond now, but when I was a kid, it was a small pond. It's better to be a big fish like Al Radka was in a small pond than get lost in the big one.
Right. So you kind of wanted to remain behind the scenes anonymous. You didn't want to become known. That's
but I still want recognition, so yeah.
Well, you have recognition now with Havens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you lost your identity with Havens?
No, I created one.
And what is that? What kind of identity
I'm known
did
for
you
security,
create?
for trust, for taking care of people. I mean, I've got people that have been with me since I started.
Yeah.
We just take care of people. We're more of a cottage industry. We're a local business. You can go and find somebody maybe that can do a little less expensive, but when you need them, they're not there. We have the service people. We take care of people the way they're supposed to be taken care of.
In other words, what you're saying is you provide a service and you're always there, 24/7. If something happens, heaven forbid, on New Year's Day or Thanksgiving,
we have a service person.
You've got a
available.
Service person to come out to the house or whatever if you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Where you're saying other places don't.
No. And a lot of one-man shops, you can only do so much with a one-man person. And, you got to take a vacation. You got to go somewhere, so you can't be there 24/7.
I do want to tell your story about how you started just in a key booth, but I want to roll the videotape before we go to commercial. Let's put up just one of the videotapes. I don't care which one. We're going to take a look at your store on the inside. We're looking at the video right now. An array of locks and safes and what have you. So talk about what's in your store.
Well, we've got a lot of safes. We've got locks. We have proprietary keys, so somebody can't get a key made by going to the hardware store or wherever where they have keys. I've had people come in and make keys, borrow the keys from somebody, make keys to their place, give them their keys back, and then go rip them off.
You make copies of keys at your place?
Yes, we do.
You do? Okay.
Right.
All right, but there are certain keys that can't be copied.
That's right. We're a Medico service center. We do the high security Medico locks. They're on embassies. They're on airports. They're the high security anti-bump.
Yeah. Medico is a company that comes from where? Is it East Coast or out of the country?
Yeah, about Salem.
Salem. Okay. All right. But a lot of people I noticed on the East Coast have the Medico locks for whatever reason. Not so much on the East Coast. There are some here. I had Medico locks at one time, but do you also have obviously the combination locks, right?
Yeah, we've got the digital. We've got thumbprint or ID type locks are not perfected yet, so they're still optional. Go ahead.
Got a phone call right here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering, are all the people that work, at the lock places like that, are they fingerprinted and like bonded and checked out in that way?
Yes, if you go to my website, you'll see that we have about 19 licensed alarm and locksmith with BSIS, Bureau of Investigative Services. Anybody that comes out to your home or does any lock work has a BSI,
background check, fingerprinted
from,
by the FBI and all that kind of
well,
stuff, right?
The State
Department of Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to be because security reasons?
Right.
Okay. All right.
So all lock shops are the same?
All what?
All lock shops are the same? Do they all do the same?
You can get these 800 numbers off the internet that say they're in Fresno, and they're fly-by-nights, and they hit you with one price, and then when that's through, they go skyrocketing on you.
Right. I get to kind of paraphrase your question, ma'am. Are there any scams out there that people claim they're locksmiths and they're not? You have to beware.
You ask for their BSIS license. My guys all wear an ID, has their BSIS license number. You can go on the web, and you can go to the BSIS website. And you can check them out, but they're all wearing a photo ID, so you know who they are.
All right. I appreciate
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Before we go to break, just one quick question. High tech, is there something on the horizon that's going to be arriving soon that we don't know about yet?
Not really. It's mostly here.
It's mostly here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just needs to be perfected.
Such as what?
The fingerprint.
The
ID.
fingerprint thing. Okay.
ID, yeah,
All
biometrics.
Right. We are talking with Haven Young. He is the owner, the founder of Haven's Locksmith here in the city of Fresno. Been around 28 years, the better part, spanning 4 decades. How do you like that? 436 MeTV option 11. If you have a security question, any kind of question for Haven, call in, turn down the sound. Back in a momento.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Hey, we have a focus on business today, no question about that. Let's put up the disclaimer and talk about why Haven Young is in here today. He's in here because, well, today is the focus on business. How do you like that? Anyway, we've been around since 1951, and I kept saying during the program, even in the monologue, that Haven's Lock & Smith has been around 28 years. Why don't you try 38 years, John, okay? 38 years spanning 4 decades, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and of course the 2000s. But he came here of his own free will, and he didn't pay us, we didn't pay him. We've been around since 1951, and so we like to promote businesses that have been around a long time, much like Haven Young. So you're talking about the fingerprint system. We do have a phone call. Let's take that first, and I'll ask you about that fingerprint issue. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. How are you?
Good morning, John. Good morning, Haven. Listen, I'm not going to play This Is Your Life unless you want to. You may know the voice. I'll give you a hint, and then I'll ask you the question. Kmart, Mayfair Market.
Yeah.
And those are the two. Those are the two that you might be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question is was this the only drive-up key key replacement in Fresno, or were there others?
There was one at Fig Garden with Bud Anderson.
Okay.
Way back in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does my voice sound familiar?
Not over the phone.
Okay. He's short, and he was a box boy at Mayfair Market.
Okay.
Edward. This is Edward. The cheesemaker. Okay. I'll leave it at that. Keep up the good work, Haven.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. So you started at this, I want to get into the security system in just a moment, but I want to talk about this key booth that you started at, Chestnut and Kings Canyon. It was a drive-by booth?
Yeah, you just drive up and get out and get keys made.
It's like driving through Carl's or driving through Burger King or any of these?
Yeah, it was like a 10 by 10 aluminum building.
Really? And how long were you in there?
From 76 to 90-something.
That's after you purchased the business, right?
Yeah. It was there before that. I don't know when.
Right, it was there before then. But then you went to work there as an employee. They offered to sell you the place,
right,
and you said, "No problem. I'll come up with the $5,000,"
yeah,
and you did.
Sure.
And so, how long were you in the key booth there?
From 76 till in the 90s. But in the 80s, I bought out Soronsky's. Vince and Vera Soronsky. Vince had passed away, and Vera was trying to run her shop at Bullard and Blackstone.
Okay, and then you moved over to Blackstone, right?
And then I moved to Blackstone and Barstow next to Payless Shoe Source.
Right, and then you moved again.
And then I moved down to Blackstone and Belmont.
Right, and then you moved again.
No. I'm still there.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. But you had 3 moves, basically, because, 4 moves.
Yeah.
I guess 4 moves, essentially 4 moves, if you want to count that. And but it's just amazing how you started very small and built your business up. And did you make a profit early on, or were there days or years when you thought, what in the world am I doing?
There were some lean years, but that was back in, actually in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
When you were over at Bullard and Blackstone at that time, at that location?
Barstow and Blackstone.
Barstow and Blackstone, okay. There were some
lean
years over there?
Yeah.
What was the cause for that? Just the economy or what? Or people were not into security systems at that time?
My growth was always very tough to have. It was like beating your head against a wall and getting bludgeoned.
Why?
I don't know. That kind of growth, just major growth, is hard to come by. The best growth you can ever have is buy somebody out. My best forward movement has been when I've been able to assimilate another business and gain their clients
But it's been slow going for you, right?
Yeah.
To reach the pinnacle, it's been slow going.
Yeah. It's
didn't happen overnight.
No, it's been taking those 30
And I kept saying
years.
28 years, actually 38 years.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a long time to be in business. And they say it takes, I don't know, what, 5 years to know for sure if your business is going to make it. But I want to get into this high-tech security system. Let's roll the videotape. We have more videotape from Inside Havens. I think we're going to take a look at some of the safes. What's some of the high-tech stuff that's on the market right now? Give us an idea. Because I talked about cell phone use. You can arm your house or your car with your cell phone?
Yeah, you can get video feed from your CCTV cameras that you can put up around the house. You can see what you've got there.
You can look at the video on your cell phone?
Yeah.
All right. We've got safes here. What kind of safes do you have? Gun safes?
Gun safes, deposit safes, in-ground safes, record safes.
In-ground safes?
Mm-hmm.
You actually dig?
We have to jackhammer the cement out and put them in.
And the reason for that is what?
You can't.
I mean, is it the obvious?
In the ground.
Is it the obvious?
Yeah.
It's the most obvious, right?
Yeah, and it can be hidden easier. You know,
yeah,
you can put it under a carpet and.
I know. So truthfully, come on, Haven. How many of those customers do you have that actually want to put the safe in the ground?
Well, probably 8-10%.
Okay.
But we have to service everybody, you know. They use them a lot in gas stations, businesses. They like them in the ground and.
Right, that I could see, a business.
Yeah.
Put them in the ground so you can't. But you have people who want to install them in their homes too, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break. I still want to get into this high-tech stuff because everything is high-tech. We're talking with Haven Young, 436 MeTV option 11. Back in a minute.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the show, Connect with me on MeTV Fresno. We're glad that you're here, and I'm glad Haven Young is here. He's a good guy, good sport, and do a lot of joking around here on the set. But as you can see, it's a loose group here.
It makes it comfortable.
Yeah, well, anyway, I hope you're comfortable. Anything we can get you? Cup of tea, coffee, a little shot of whiskey? Or
Oh, there you go.
Now, anyway, high-tech security. How many people are into this high-tech thing? You're talking about the fingerprint thing. Explain what that is, because I'm not familiar with it.
Just read your fingerprint and stores it in there. I don't know that much about it, too technical. But I know we had one place where they painted their safe and didn't cover the ID pad. Got fried.
So how does that work? You put your fingerprint on a pad?
Yeah, a photosensitive pad, and it reads your fingerprint.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you get that for your home?
Yeah, we can put them in your home. On your
How about
business.
your car?
Not your car yet.
Not your car yet, but you can put them on your business, I'll bet.
Yeah, we can.
On the front door?
Front door. Prox cards, you've got the mag stripe, you've got PIN numbers, that sort of thing.
That's simply amazing. And you can do everything with your cell phone too. It's really amazing. I've seen these ads on television where these people are watching themselves or watching their home, their living room, the inside of their with a live feed on their cell phone.
Yeah,
that's possible now.
Yeah, that's like for the high-end adapters. You know, most people don't adapt to that kind of stuff.
What are most people buying these days? What do they want when they come in?
Safes, alarms. Still using a lot of keys. One of these days, keys will go away because you'll have your cell phone will have a reader in it, and you won't even need a card.
But most people that come in, are they're buying security systems for their homes or their businesses, or what? What are they buying?
We do them all. We have one that's called a Videofied we use in ranches and places like that because it's got lithium batteries, and when the alarm goes off, it takes a picture. So like a rancher that's got an outbuilding with no power.
Yeah. Same type of deal, huh?
Yeah, works good.
Okay. You're on with Haven Young. What's your question?
Good morning. Yeah, you're talking about the next step in security and what's coming down the road from a technological point of view. What about the retina scan or the
Oh,
the
yeah.
profiling software. How far down the road is that?
I remember back in the day that Pelco had their cameras doing facial recognition, but for the homeowner, let's face it, it's not going to happen. It's too expensive. You got to have you got to have an application. You got to have a commercial application. My business would be 10 times bigger if I would have been in the Silicon Valley instead of the small pond of Fresno. You don't put locks on grapes, almonds, or cows.
Mm-hmm.
So with the agriculture, you've got the chemicals and stuff like that where they need that, like that videofied camera.
Okay, here's a dumb broadcasting question.
All
Is
right.
most of your business here in the Central Valley, or do you go outside the Central Valley?
Mostly the Central Valley.
Okay.
We
Like
have
where? Where do you go outside?
Well, we go down to Bakersfield. We've been down to Santa Maria. We did a bunch of B of A's. We've done a bunch of churches. We do a lot of churches.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 80 service providers that provide service to like a Macy's or a Forever 21 or whatever. The manager doesn't call. They call a service company, and they call us. So we do.
How many contracts do you have with major businesses here in the Central Valley?
That's majority of my work.
Really?
Yeah, commercial.
Big business, commercial. You got Macy's then?
Well, no, we have the service company for
You have the
Macy's.
service company for Macy's, but name a couple of big businesses that we might recognize.
Oh, my buddy, Richard Shahadi.
Okay.
Producers.
All right.
We do a lot of work for producers. We put in locks, access control, different things for them and their business right down the street on Belmont. I've been done Pacific Choice brands out off of Jensen since in the 70s. I put in access control, and they're still with me. Got a lot of companies.
Do you work closely with the police department or even sheriff's department?
I've done a few things with them. We get calls out to drill open a safe when they've had a bust and they need to get into it.
All right, quickly, let me ask you a question. How PR conscious are you? Because I know you put some commercials out. I want to show one of them. How much does PR mean to you? Public relations.
Well, if you don't have recognition, they can't find you.
All right, let's do a little PR here for Havens. I want to roll the videotape on this commercial that maybe you've seen.
Say, is your house secure? Do you feel safe in your own home?
I thought I did. How did you get in here?
It was easy. Cheap lock, no alarm. If a TV announcer like me can get in, so can any crook.
Well, what can I do to make my home secure?
Cue the music. Takes just one call to Havens for total security. Locks, keys, alarms, even safes. Havens, keeping crooks and TV announcers out of your home since 1966.
You know, I'm highly insulted that you didn't ask me to do the commercial. Instead of Matt Ostott and Gary Hansen, you got them instead of... No, I'm just teasing you.
Yes.
But that's a unique... Now, who did the commercial?
47, and it's Brad Hansen.
Okay. All right.
He does their creative work. He came up with that one.
And so it makes a difference. Has it helped your business? The recognition?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you build that over the course of time. We all know that. But now, in this day and age, we're not only high security conscious, we're PR conscious. Everything that we do, we're PR conscious.
Correct. I've even got an ad on the spot where my kids are running around being chased by one of my buddies.
We got 30 seconds left.
Okay.
What is the best way somebody can stay safe and secure, in your opinion?
Have security. I mean, it's better to have it not need it than to need it and not have it.
Right. And you get a home monitoring system for roughly how much? A month?
About $30 a month.
Okay. Haven Young, hey, I appreciate your time. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I'm really fascinated by your background and how you started, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
Good meeting you.
Good meeting you.
Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Happy New Year.
All right. Stay put. We're not done yet.
Oh.
Haven Young is the owner of Havens Lock and Smith. That's going to do it for us today. Tomorrow we're talking about Taekwondo. We'll see you tomorrow. 436 MeTV option 11 tomorrow. Call in. That's right. See you tomorrow.
like me?
Just like me.
Like MeTV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me.